everyone. Welcome to this practice. So this combination, Vinyasa plus Yin, is a class I really love to teach at Yoga Family. The way we're going to do it today is a 60-minute class, and we're going to do about 30 or maybe 35 minutes of Vinyasa, the flow portion of the class, and then about 25 or so minutes of the Yin portion of the class. If you haven't done Yin before, it is mostly seated postures, and we hold them for several minutes at a time. And it's both a deep opening in our physical body, and it's also a really meditative experience. We get to sit in stillness for a few minutes at a time in each shape and just kind of be in our bodies. And because that part of the class is pretty static, we'll do the flow part of the class today as pretty dynamic. So we'll build up a bit of heat, and then for the Yin part of the class, it'll be kind of more grounding and cooling. I have a few props here. If you don't have all these props, totally fine. You can definitely substitute with things that you have at home. So I've got a couple yoga blocks. I've got a blanket. Any type of blanket you have at home will do. And then I've got 2 bolsters here. Any pillows that you have at home will do as well. And so the blocks we'll use a bit during Vinyasa. The rest of the props we'll do mostly for the Yin portion of the class. So if you want to pause the video and grab a couple props, feel free. Otherwise, when you're ready, let's go ahead and take a seat. So whatever works for you. You can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling. You're also welcome. I really like to kneel on blocks of things. That can feel nice as well. So come into whatever shape feels good in your body. Settle in, let the hips settle down to the earth. Close the eyes. And just take a few really deep, full breaths here. So inhale fully through the nose. Feel the expansion, the opening in the chest. And then gently part the lips. Just nice, easy exhale through the mouth. And 2 more deep breaths like that. Just go with your own pace, inhaling, fully opening up, creating space in the body, and then just feeling the warm air across the lips as you breathe out through the mouth. Last deep breath here. And at the end of the 3rd breath, go ahead and seal the lips and just come to a nice, easy breath rhythm in and out through the nose. Let yourself soften down through the shoulders. Let the jaw be nice and easy. The tongue can sort of float in the back of the mouth. Just follow that gentle rhythm of the breath coming in and out, just like a wave entering and leaving the body. Couple more breaths here. And on your next breath in, float the arms out to either side, up above the head, let the palms connect, and then easy exhale, hands come down through heart center. One more breath like that. Inhale, breathe the arms out to either side. Notice the moment the palms connect, gaze up, blink the eyes open, and then as you exhale, just trace the hands with your gaze all the way down through heart center. If you're sitting on a block, go ahead and remove that. We'll just take a few cat-cows to kind of get into our body, warm up. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Hands underneath the shoulders and knees about hip distance apart. As you inhale, let the belly dip down. Lift the tailbone, spread the sit bones. And then on the exhale, round the spine. Draw the tailbone down towards the heels. Inhale, cat pose. Reach the collarbones, the chest forward in between the inner arms. And then as you exhale, really press the ground away. Get into that space between the shoulders as the shoulder blades spread apart. And with your breath, just continue like that. So inhaling, cow pose, exhaling, cat pose. I like to close my eyes here and just really drop into the breath and the body. So we're always thinking and doing so much in our day-to-day life. Let yourself just be here and feel. If it feels good to kind of get into the side body, or making circles with the hips, do that. Just kind of tap into what's going on in the joints and the hips, the shoulders, and especially the spine. Couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, go ahead and tuck the toes under, draw the hips up and back, finding your first downward facing dog. And take a little more bend of the knees in this downward facing dog than you normally would, and use that to really lengthen out through the spine. So spread the fingers wide, press the ground away. Imagine you could create more space between each vertebra. Maybe rock the hips a little bit side to side, bend into alternate knees, just like cat-cow. Do whatever it takes for you to kind of get into your body and feel into this first downward facing dog. So not about how it looks, just about how it feels. And tune in to what's going on. Come back to even, find a bit of stillness in the pose. And then as you inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times like that. Keep the core lightly engaged. So glide forward to plank as you breathe in. Belly button draws in and up. Kind of scoop out the lower belly. Down dog as you exhale. Use the core to help draw the hips up and back. One more time with your breath. Just a nice fluid motion. Down dog as you exhale. And on the next inhale, breathe the right leg up high, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, knee towards the nose, round the spine, just like cat pose. Inhale, 3-legged dog, leg stretches up high. And then exhale, knee towards the nose, step the foot all the way through between the hands and drop the back knee. Draw the hips back out of this pose. So normally we kind of sink down low. Keep it a little more engaged. Draw the hips back, so back out of your lunge a bit. 90-degree angles here with the knee and the hip. And then lift the front of the pelvis just a little bit. So lifting those hip points, you'll feel a little activation in the front of the left thigh. And then with the back toes untucked, press the top of the foot into the earth and see if you can float the knee off the ground. So you'll feel both a stretch and a lot of work in the front of the left hip flexor. And then optional add-on, you can float the arms up high. Stay with the breath. Exhale, let the knee and hands come down to the floor. Step back to plank as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Float the left leg high, inhale. Knee towards the nose as you exhale, round the spine. Bring the shoulders forward over the wrists, and then inhale back to 3-legged dog. And then exhale, knee towards the nose as you step the foot all the way through. Go ahead and drop the back knee. And same thing on this side. Back out of the lunge a little bit to start. Find these 90-degree angles, kind of with the hips and the knees. And then press that back foot into earth. Just float the knee a few inches off the floor, just any amount helps you feel that activation. Keep lifting the front of the pelvis. Arms can float up high. And then on your next exhale, knee and hands come down to the ground. With your breath, step back to the plank, full breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Couple breaths here and down dog. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Option to drop the knees first as you exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes and press the tops of the feet into the earth, and then baby cobra. Peel the heart up off the floor. Keep the legs nice and active, so the knees will be a little bit lifted off the floor. And the shoulder blades kind of squeeze together, so you feel that engagement on the back side of the body. You can float the hands an inch or two off the mat if you want a little more challenge. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes under, inhale. Press up to plank as you exhale, full breath in here. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a few breaths in down dog. Just kind of steady your breathing. Lengthen the upper body, engagement in the arms. So think about firing up the upper arms, turning the armpits just a little bit in towards each other. And the heels press down towards the earth, but they don't have to touch the earth. Just grounding down in that direction. And then starting to build into a little bit of flow as you inhale, gaze forward between the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then refold as you breathe out. One more time like that. As you inhale, lift up halfway, stay here. Let the hands come to the knees. And really lengthen through the spine. So notice if you're kind of rounding in the upper body, find that hint of cobra pose in the chest and upper back. Reach the collarbone forward. Let the shoulder blades draw together. If you want to add on from here, option to reach both arms forward, biceps alongside the ears. And the knees aren't locked. So there's engagement in the hamstrings, there's engagement in the legs. Press down through the soles of the feet. One more breath in. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Rise to standing, full breath in, arms stretch up, Hands to heart center as you exhale. I'm just starting to flow through a few sun salutation variations. On your next inhale, breathe the arms up high. Exhale, forward fold, ride the whole breath out all the way to the bottom. Halfway lift, reach the heart forward. And then as you exhale, refold, step the right foot back. Inhale to high lunge, arms stretch up high. Grab the right wrist with the left hand and then side bend over to the left. Stay here for a breath cycle. Keep lifting the front of the hip points, keep that back leg strong so you really feel that stretch in the front of the thigh. Inhale back to center. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Step back to plank, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Right leg floats high, inhale. And step it all the way through as you exhale. High lunge, let the breath help lift you up into the pose and then take hold of the left wrist, side bend over to the right. So feeling that extra stretch to the front of the left thigh. Back to center, inhale. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Step forward, breathe in, reach the heart forward, touch, and then easy exhale, refold. Rise to standing, press through the feet, feel the back body do work. Hands to heart center as you exhale, and right into the other side. Inhale, arms float up high. Exhale, dive heart first, let the head follow. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step the left foot back this time as you breathe out. And then on the inhale, rise up, high lunge. Take hold of the left wrist, side bend over to the right. Next inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands float to the floor. So go with your breath rhythm, step back to plank, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Float the left leg high, inhale. Step all the way through as you exhale. Keep the core engaged just like we did before, and then as you inhale, let the breath help lift you up into the pose. Grab the right wrist, side bend on your exhale. Back to center, full breath in. Hands to the floor as you breathe out. Step forward, inhale, lengthen through the spine a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to standing, inhale, option to take a little bit of a back bend if you want. Hands to heart center as you exhale. Nice, arms float high again, full breath in. Exhale, dive forward, long spine, ride the whole breath out. And then walk the feet together if they're not already touching. There can be a little separation in the heels, big toes touch. As you exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, and then chair pose on the inhale. Peel the heart off the thighs. Keep squeezing the legs together. If it feels, I'm just going to back up, if it feels a little bit too much in the arms, you can always bring hands to heart center. It's perfectly fine. Stay with the breath here. So even as the pose feels fiery and tense in our bodies, can we use our breath to keep our mind steady? Can we keep that smooth breath? Rather than thinking about how we really want to get out of the pose and how it's hard, can we think about how strong we are to be in this pose? Last breath in, you got it. And then exhale, forward fold, separate your feet a little. That usually feels more stable. And just take a few breaths here, nice and easy. Let everything slow down. Let the sides of the neck soften. Let the crown of the head just sway down towards the floor. On your next inhale, lift up halfway, strong back body. Exhale, refold. Step back to plank, breathe in. And then option to go straight to down dog. We're going to come through Vinyasa and come lower halfway or all the way. As you inhale, cobra like we did before, or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the core nice and strong and engaged as you draw the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Next breath in, float the right leg up high, use the whole length of the breath to get it to its highest point, and then exhale, knee towards the nose, strong core, shoulders come forward. Three-legged dog as you inhale, stretch the leg up high. Exhale, step it all the way through between the hands as lightly as you can, and then high lunge. Rise up the breath. And take the exhale to just kind of land here. So feel into the hips, kind of let them settle into the pose. And if you need to readjust the distance of the feet, that's fine. Nice full deep breaths here. Keep finding that kind of neutral pelvis, so lifting through the front of the hip points, just like we did before. And then on your next exhale, just a little cactus back bend. So cactus the arms, reach the heart up towards the sky. Notice if the lower ribs really stick out, so you can hug them in a little bit so the core is nice and engaged. And then with your breath, inhale, arms float back up high. 2 more times. Exhale, cactus the arms, open up the heart. Inhale, hands stretch up high. Last round, cactus back bend. Inhale, stretch the arms up high. And then on your next exhale, hinge forward about 45 degrees in the upper body. The back leg stays super strong, so really press the back of the left thigh, the back of the left knee up towards the ceiling. Try to find a little bit more lift in the arms. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back to plank, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. And then option to stay here to take that vinyasa again. So it's your choice. If you take the vinyasa, go ahead and inhale forward to plank. You can always drop the knees as you exhale, lower halfway or all the way down. Cobra or dog as you breathe in. And then downward facing dog as you breathe out. Next, full breath in, float the left leg up high. Exhale, knee towards the nose, round the spine, shoulders come forward directly over the wrist. Inhale, float the knee back up, the leg back up. Exhale, step it all the way through, again, as lightly as you can, so you use the core. And then on an inhale, let the breath help lift you up into the pose. Take the exhale, just kind of feel and land into it. So the body's been here before. It knows what to do, but each time through the pose is a little bit different. Can you keep that strength in the legs? Or can you soften through the face, soften through the fingertips a little bit? And then on your next exhale, cactus back bend. So reaching the heart up, back bending mostly in the upper back. Core stays nice and strong, so that back bend's not in the lower back. We don't want to dump it into our lumbar spine. And then 2 more times. Inhale, stretch the arms up high. Exhale, cactus back bend. Last round. Inhale, arms stretch up high. Exhale, cactus the arms, open up the heart, offer up your breath, your effort. Inhale, arms float up high. And then that sort of power lunge stance again. So hinge forward at the hips and feel a really long, strong line from the right leg all the way up through the torso, the arms, out the fingertips. Left foot is really pushing down into the mat, so you feel that left outer hip really working too. Last breath in. Hands to the floor as you exhale. Nice. With your breath, step back to plank. Breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. We'll take about 5 or 6 breaths here. If you want to go ahead and take an optional vinyasa, go ahead and do that. If you want to take child's pose, take child's pose. If you're happy to stay in down dog here with me, go ahead and do that. And wherever you are, just breathe fully into each breath, each moment. If you're in child's pose and ready to flow again, go ahead and come back to down dog. And then on your next breath in, right leg floats up nice and high. This time bend the knee, open up the hip. Point the right knee up towards the ceiling. The right heel will come in towards the glute. And then try to really keep downward facing dog in the upper body. So you don't want to open your chest way up like this. You want to keep the chest nice and neutral facing down. Good job. Inhale, straighten the leg, level off the hips. Exhale, step all the way through between the hands. And then before you rise up, just separate the feet a little bit towards either edge of the mat. Then set up for warrior 1 feet. So the back foot drops to about a 45-degree angle. The heel comes down to the floor. And then as you're ready on an inhale, rise up into the pose. Exhale, kind of settle your hips in here. Breathe into warrior one. Really press down through both edges of the back foot. So that back leg is nice and strong, and you find a bit of an inward rotation with the thigh. That'll help draw the left hip forward a bit. Core is nice and strong and engaged. And then from here, go ahead and interlace the fingers behind the back and stretch the knuckles down towards the back edge of the mat. So you can feel a nice opening across the front of the chest, widening across the heart, letting the skin across there just stretch open. One more breath in here. And then as you exhale, humble warrior. So forward fold here. You can lay the torso down on that front thigh for a little bit more supported version of the pose. Or if you want, you can start to bring the right shoulder inside the right knee. And just notice if you're doing that, if the right hip swings way out to the right, really press down with the sole of the right foot and hug the right outer hip in. Feel the inner thighs kind of draw towards each other as you press down through both feet. And then finally, let the neck be soft. Let the skull feel heavy. Each time you breathe out, let any tension from the neck, the shoulders, just sort of leave the body with the breath. One more breath in here, fill up, breathe in all the way. And then exhale, go ahead, release the hands. Come up onto the ball of the left foot and then drop the left knee down to the mat. And walk the right knee out, or the right foot, out to the right. So setting up for a lizard pose, the right toes are going to be pointing out to the right, toes off the mat, heels on the mat. And try to keep the knees stacked directly over the ankle. So sometimes if you find the knees really pointing forward, just step it forward a bit. And this time really let the hips settle down. If it feels like the ground is a little bit far away, option to put hands on blocks or books, whatever you have at home. Or if you want to come a little bit deeper, you can bring your forearms down to blocks or down to the ground. So take whatever option works for you. And just take 3 deep mindful breaths here. So follow the breath all the way in. Maybe pause at the top for a moment. Exhale, let go. Let the hips hang even heavier. Just let gravity do the work. After the third breath, walk the left hand towards the middle, just right under the face, and bring the right hand to the lower back. Twisting the heart open a bit to the right. Option to stay here, or you can bend the left knee, grab the left foot, either the big toe edge or the pinky toe edge of the foot. So the pinky toe edge will be a little bit further away, but a little more opening across the front of the shoulder. And then you can kick the foot into the hand a little bit, open up. If you're almost there with the foot, one little trick is you can take your block, put it under the bottom hand. That just gives you a little more length across your wingspan, and the foot will feel a little bit closer. And then wherever you are, just breathe here and be content with where the body is in this pose today. So know that our bodies can open up into these shapes as they're ready. We don't have to force it. So on your next exhale, go ahead, let the knee go. If you've got a block, just put it off to the side. And then tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee. So more active lizard this time. Just feel the difference in the hips. Really fire up that back leg. So press the back of the left knee, back of the left thigh up towards the ceiling. And then on an inhale, plank pose. Step the right foot back. Down dog as you exhale. Stay here or take vinyasa, just gliding forward to plank as you breathe in. Lower halfway or all the way as you breathe out. Cobra up dog, inhale. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. And then other side, float the left leg up high as you breathe in. Open up the hip, bend the knee. And just remember to keep that downward facing dog in the upper body. So really press the ground away with the left hand. Make sure the whole palm is pressing down into the floor. As you inhale, back to 3-legged dog, level off the hips. Exhale, step the foot all the way through between the hands, just lightly as you can. And then again, widen the feet a little bit. This is really helpful when we come into humble warrior. Set your feet up for warrior 1 feet. And then as you're ready, inhale, rise up into the pose. Take that exhale, just kind of let the hips feel into it. Really press down through the back leg. And again, find that inward rotation with the thigh. And maybe switch the way you cross the fingers so the opposite thumb is over. It feels a little bit awkward. Stretch the knuckles down towards the back of the mat. Sometimes we have these little habits that we have no idea, we're not aware of at all. And then we switch it up, it feels a little bit funny. On your next exhale, humble warrior, forward fold. And again, you can lay the torso down on that front thigh, or you can start to bring the shoulder just inside the knee. Left hip is sticking out. Really press the left foot actively down into the floor. Hug the left outer hip in. Last full deep breath in here, and then on your exhale, go ahead, let the hands come down to the floor. Pivot up onto the ball of the back foot. Drop that back knee, and then walk the left foot out to the left, and just angle the toes a little bit off the mat. Come into your lizard pose here. Again, you've got the option with your hands or forearms on the block or on the floor, so whatever works for you. May feel a little different on one side than the other. That is very normal. And then bringing a twist into this pose. Just center the right hand just underneath you. And again, that foot feels a little bit far away. Play around with putting it on the block. Bring the left hand to the lower back. Maybe stay there if that feels good, or reach back and grab the back foot. Notice if you're kind of sagging into that front shoulder, like this, with the shoulders way up by your ears, and really press into the ground. Lengthen out through the shoulder, engage the upper arm and those muscles around the shoulder. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and release. Set the block aside if you have it. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and just an active lizard for a few breaths. So sometimes the hips are still sagging a little bit, you don't feel it. Really press down into the front foot, engage the back leg, and elevate those hips a bit. Inhale. Stay for the exhale, and then on your next breath in, step back to plank. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, come forward to plank. And then as you exhale, lower halfway or all the way, always the option to drop the knees first. And this time, actually lower all the way down onto your belly. Sorry, I misspoke there. And we'll set up for locust pose. So reach both arms back, interlace the hands at the base of the spine. And then zip up the legs. So the inner thighs, the inner knees, the inner ankles press towards each other. And on a breath in, peel the heart and the feet up off the floor. Stretch the knuckles towards the back of your mat. One more breath in here, lift maybe a little bit more, and then as you exhale, release down. Place one ear on the mat. Let the arms come to either side and just sort of pause. Let yourself be here with your breath. See if you can feel the sensation of your heartbeat inside your chest. Recenter the chin, the forehead. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under, really fire up the legs. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, press up to plank. Inhale and plank. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Breathe here. And just notice how this down dog feels compared to maybe the first one. Where do you feel more open? Where do you feel more spacious in the body? And also, what parts of the body feel a little bit tired? Just notice everything that's going on. Next, inhale, gaze forward between the hands, and then as you exhale, step, hop, or walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in, nice long spine, and then as you exhale, refold. Rise to standing, breathe in, arms stretch up high, hands to heart center as you exhale, and then setting up for dancer's pose. So we'll start with our right knee bent, round your left foot into the earth. You can always put a hand on the wall if you find that you're a little bit wobbly with your balance. Bend the right knee, grab either the pinky edge or the big toe edge of your foot. Left hand can be on the left hip, or you can reach the left arm up alongside the ear. And then go ahead and really kick the right foot into the right hand. So that will help you reach the heart forward, lifting the foot up. Stay with your breath. And be okay with the wobbling. You know, the most important thing is when we wobble or when we fall out of the pose, how do we react to that? That's what we have control over. We don't always have control over staying perfectly balanced in the pose. Last breath in here. Exhale, let it go. And just a half sun salutation to kind of rinse it off. So breathe the arms up nice and high. And then exhale, forward fold, just nice and fluid. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, refold, and then on your breath in, rise to standing, arms stretch up high. You can take that baby back bend if you want. Hands to heart center. And then setting up on the other side. Bending the left knee, grabbing either edge of the foot, and then again, that right hand can stay on the hip, or you can reach it up alongside the ear. And then really kick the foot into the hand. So that's going to help sort of activate everything on the back side of your body. Reach the heart forward, reach the front arm forward. It's okay to have a bend in that standing knee, especially if that helps you balance a bit more. And then in this pose, in this shape, while you're really focused, you're balancing, see if you can find one thing to soften. Maybe letting the eyeballs kind of soften in their sockets, or just feeling a little bit lighter in the right fingertips. Last breath in. Exhale, nice and easy, release it with control, and then half sun salutation. Just move with ease, reach the arms up high, nice and fluid, forward fold as you exhale. Rise to stand up, lift up halfway side, breathe in, and then exhale, refold, step back to plank as you inhale, downward facing dog as you exhale, and then forward to plank again, full breath in. Lower all the way down to the belly. And we'll set up for Dhanurasana, bow pose. So go ahead and bend the knees. Grab the outer edges of the feet. Set up for the pose. Make sure the knees aren't wider than hip distance apart. And then when you're ready, kick the feet into the hands. Open up across the front of the chest. So keep the legs pretty active. You really want to feel like you're actively kicking the feet into the hands. And that'll help stretch those muscles across the front of the chest. Really good for if we kind of sit at a desk or a computer all day, kind of open up that space across the front of the heart. Last breath in here. As you exhale, lower the knees down to the floor. And set one ear, one side of the face down on the floor. Let the arms just rest on either side of the body. Let yourself just pause. Just be here, feel, breathe. Go ahead, recenter the chin or the forehead on the mat. It's one more round of bow pose. So this one's nice, it's a little more accessible than wheel pose. I really like it as a back bend for that reason. When you're ready, go ahead and kick the feet into the hands. And remember, we're not trying to push it to the point where we're kind of like squeezing all the breath out of the pose. You still want to be able to breathe fully and completely in this shape. So sometimes you can actually open up more by backing off a little bit from the pose. Find that balance for you, that balance of breath and body and mind. One more full breath in here. Exhale, let it come down. Place the other side of the face on the mat. Just let the arms come down to the floor next to you. Close the eyes. Breathe. And then go ahead and bring the hands, palm facing down underneath your shoulders. Just going to recenter the neck. And just press yourself up and back to a child's pose. Knees can be together here with the torso draped over them, or you can take knees nice and wide and just let the chest lie down towards the mat. Let the arms feel heavy. And let this be a pose of surrender. Let your body just surrender down to the earth. Let your mind surrender to the breath. Start to walk the hands back towards you, just gently coming out of your child's pose. And we'll move into the yin portion of the class. So because it's not as dynamic and intense, your body can kind of cool down a little bit. So sometimes it's nice to put on an extra layer just to set up for the yin. And then if you've got your props, you can kind of bring them over near your mat. And we'll start off first doing pigeon pose. So we'll be in each pose for a few minutes at a time. You're going to set up on the right side. Go ahead and bring your right leg forward. And if you were to place the hands in front of you, shoulder width apart, and draw a line back from your right wrist, you get your right knee there. And then your right ankle would be in line with your left wrist. So the shin doesn't have to be parallel to the top edge of the mat. You want to make sure you don't feel any discomfort in the knee. You just want to make sure the knee's not right in the middle. So you want to kind of pull it over enough so that it's in line behind that right wrist. Go ahead and let the hips round down evenly towards the mat. If you know that you have tightness in the hips, this is where you maybe want to take a blanket and place it under the right hip, or you can even use a bolster or a pillow or whatever else you have, and that will help kind of prop that hip up a bit, so you don't want to roll way over to the right hip. And then if there's space, you can let yourself forward fold to any amount. You want to make sure you don't feel any discomfort in the knee in this pose. So if you do, you're welcome to take a figure 4 on your back, just crossing the right ankle over the left knee. And just notice everything start to slow down. So yin is really a sensory experience. Notice the process of moving from the vinyasa part of the class, the more fiery, dynamic part, into this more grounding, slower, cooling part of the practice. What does the process of slowing down feel like, both in our bodies and in our minds? In the vinyasa part, we have that movement, that flow, that breath. It really helps keep us present, that continuity that's there. And sometimes that physical challenge in the body is a good tool for keeping us present, keeping us aware. And it can be harder to stay focused in these still postures. So if you notice that the thoughts wander off, just bring it back to the yoga mat. Feel the sensations in the body and that gentle rhythm of the breath coming in, flowing back out. Let yourself feel ease, feel calm and steadiness just in the simple act of your breathing. Sometimes we feel this pose so intensely in the hips that we don't notice other parts of the body. So see if there's space to just relax and soften through the shoulders and neck. Sometimes we're carrying tension there without even realizing it. With each breath out, just let everything feel heavier towards the earth. Drop any effort from the pose and let gravity do the work.
Notice the quality of the breath, the quality of thoughts in your mind. And take 5 more breath cycles here, nice and slow. Just tracing each breath all the way in, and maybe counting down. 5, letting the breath leave the body. And then 4, the same thing. Make each breath full and deep and nurturing. And after your 5th breath out, no rush, take your time. Start to walk the hands back towards you. If you have a pillow or blanket, go ahead and remove that from underneath the right hip. And then just move through any counter poses that feel good to you. So notice the process of coming out of the shape. What does it feel like to kind of undo the body? What counter movement is your body asking for? Maybe taking a down dog, maybe taking a child's pose. Just noticing the difference between the two sides.
And then starting to set up on the left. And this is really a pose where you might notice that one side feels quite different than the other. So again, setting the hands in front of you, about shoulder width apart, and then drawing those imaginary lines back, and you'll hit your foot and your knee. And that back leg, you want it right square on top of the kneecap. And then just let the hips settle down nice and easy. So notice if you're rolling way over onto the left glute, the left hip, level that off of it. And if it feels too intense, go ahead and take the blanket or a pillow or something and just prop it underneath there. Let the hips round down evenly towards the earth. Maybe take a nice circle with the neck, the head, the shoulders, just loosening that up. And then if there's space, you can fold forward and in out. And just sort of come to your first edge. Remember, we have a few minutes here, so you don't need to go to the deepest point right away. Just come to that point where you kind of feel your edge, you feel the intensity of the pose without feeling like you're pushing too far. No need to force it.
Let yourself breathe here. Coming to that point of perfect intensity, breathing there and feeling and observing. Noticing when you have space to go deeper or when the body is asking you to back off a bit. So allow yourself to just be there and listen to the body. And keep breathing fully. Allow yourself to just stay with whatever's happening. Breathe through whatever's happening. Notice whatever comes up for you. Allow yourself to be curious in those moments and just to observe. What does this pose bring up? What does the intensity of the pose bring up? And pigeon can sometimes be one of those poses that feels really good when we first get into it. And then as we sit, the intensity builds. We start to experience a little discomfort and we feel like we want to get out of the pose. That's the point when we can begin to really notice the patterns of our mind. What happens to our thoughts in that moment when we first feel like we want to get out of the pose. And keep softening through the shoulders. Keep letting everything just release down towards the earth beneath you. And check in, see where everything is now in this moment, and just taking the pose and the practice breath by breath, moment by moment, and sitting here in that space. Scan the body, see if you can soften something that's not obvious. Maybe the hands or fingertips. Let the eyeballs relax in their sockets. Let the skin on your whole body become looser. The eyebrows drop further, releasing any tension in the forehead. Let the teeth gently come apart, and then take 2 more full deep breaths there. At the end of the second breath, take your time, nice and easy. Start to come out of the pose. No rush, just feel your way out of the pose.
Pay attention to what's happening. What does it feel like? This is part of the practice as well, as we move from one shape to the other. We notice what it feels like on the other side of that discomfort, especially if you were just kind of sitting in it for a while. What does it feel like to come out of that? Take whatever counter poses feel good. Tabletop, cat-cow, child's pose, down dog, just whatever you want, and back into that hip. And then we'll set up for Baddha Konasana. So a seated pose. Do you like the option to sit on the edge of a blanket? If you like that, if you're a little tighter in the hips. And then go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. The knees will come out wide. Especially if you find yourself kind of bound a little bit here. Sometimes this blanket's nice to neutralize the pelvis a little bit. And I like to give 2 options in Baddha Konasana. So if you like a little bit more of a diamond shape with your legs, go ahead and do that. Or if you want to pull the knees in, the heels in closer, go ahead and do that. It's fine if the knees come up high. And if you'd like to support them, you can always grab pillows or blocks or something if it feels just a little bit too intense, and place those under the knees. So find the pose that works for you. It's about making the shape work for your body. And again, either diamond shape or heels pulling in. You know, some days it's nice to do the variation that feels more spacious, feels easier in your body, and some days it's nice to do the one that feels a little bit tighter, feels like it needs an opening. So once you get set up, take a nice full deep breath in. Really expand, create space, let it go as you exhale. One more time. Inhale fully, lengthen up through the spine a little bit. And then as you exhale, start to hinge at the hips, come forward. And a lot of times in Vinyasa, we're really keeping the spine long. This time in Yin, you can allow yourself to indulge in a kind of rounding of the spine. You might find, if you're very flexible, you can even place a bolster, or pillow, or block underneath your forehead. So if you come forward really far, you can use that to sort of prop yourself up. So let yourself settle in. And again, remember, we'll be here for a few minutes. You don't have to come to your deepest expression of the pose right from the beginning. Time in the posture will allow your body to unfold into a deeper space.
Each time you inhale, fill up, create space in the body. Imagine directing the energy of that breath, the oxygen, to wherever you feel tightness in the body. And as you exhale, let some of that tension just leave with the breath. See if there's space to relax the neck a little bit more. Really let the head hang heavy. Using your breath, using patience, using time in the posture, we can let ourselves go deeper with more breath and less effort. So we use that breath and each exhalation to relax and release and let that take us deeper into the pose, rather than pushing and forcing, which can often cause us to shorten the breath. So breathe deeply. Let each breath help you settle more deeply into the pose. Again, notice what comes up. And as you feel a little bit of discomfort in the physical body, we realize that sometimes these poses also make us feel discomfort just because we're not used to being still. We can begin to feel uneasy with just sitting in that space of stillness. We want to move our body, be busy in our mind. So notice if that shows up for you as well. And take 3 more long, full breaths here. After the 3rd breath out, take your time and take a couple breaths to gently unfold the body. Walk the hands back in towards you. Let the spine unroll 1 vertebra at a time.
Pause here. And then go ahead and gently lengthen out the legs. You can use the hands to lift the knees up, straightening the legs nice and long. Go ahead, point and flex the toes a couple times. Notice what it feels like in the legs and the hips. And then last pose here, just an easy forward fold. I'm going to grab this bolster. If you do have a bolster at home, just give you a little demo of another way that you can use this in the pose. So keep the toes flexed. Take a full breath in, just fill up. Stay for the exhale, letting the shoulders soften, let the collarbones kind of settle down in the chest. 1 more breath in. And then as you exhale, start to forward fold here. And if you're tight in the hamstrings, you can use one of these props like this, just letting your head rest on that. Something to hold you up if you're a little more flexible. You can let the hands settle on the shins, the ground. Maybe they take the toes, but remember, yoga's not about touching your toes. So again, don't force it. Just let your body spend a little time in the pose. Let it feel easy. Let it feel like it's opening you up.
Let yourself come to your edge and then be still there. Allow yourself to feel ease and a sense of peace in just a simple act of your breathing. And the spine will round a bit here. The back of the neck will lengthen. And this breath, this thing we do thousands or tens of thousands of times each day without noticing. This practice is our opportunity to tune into that, to just be with that breath, Let the steady rhythm of it help us come home to our bodies. Notice where everything is. Take stock of what you feel in the body and in the mind in this moment. If there's other things swirling around, can you bring it back to this space, this breath, this practice? And slowing down can be super challenging, and this practice is a tool to help us do that, to help us notice and be more present to what's going on right now. In our day-to-day life, we're constantly thinking about the future or the past. And when we do so, we're sort of depriving ourselves of what's going on in the now. See if you can sit with that and take 5 more breaths here in this shape. At the end of the 5th breath, nice and easy, just unroll the spine, walk the hands back towards you.
This what it feels like, the back of the legs, the back body. Take any counter movements that feel good. Maybe bend the knees, point and flex the toes a little bit. And settle into our final resting posture. So you're of course welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. If you want to take a nice long Shavasana, you can go ahead and pause the video and just let yourself lie down there. So traditional Shavasana, legs extended long, not mat width apart, and arms just a comfortable natural distance from the body, palms facing up. I always like to offer options to place hands over the belly, or one hand over the belly and one hand over the heart.
Let the eyes close if they're not already. Start to let the bones feel heavy on the floor beneath you. Feel the sensation of stillness wrap around you, washing over your whole body and then settling over you, seeping into your skin, your muscles, your cells. We don't get many opportunities in our day to just be still, to hit the pause button on everything, to allow ourselves to just be. So take this opportunity the next few minutes, or as long as you choose to stay in Shavasana, and give yourself that gift of stillness before you move on to the next thing in your day. Just another minute or so here. Stay with it. And then before moving, just allow yourself to become deeply present to the sensation of stillness. What does it feel like in every fiber of your being? What does it feel like in your mind to just lie here and be with your breath and your own inner peace? And then start to deepen the breath slightly, just bringing little sensations back to the body through the breath. Feeling that rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Then start to find some other little movements in the body. Maybe rolling the head side to side, pointing and flexing the toes, opening the palms and then making a fist, circling the wrists around. Let the eyes stay closed and just gently roll onto one side of the body, coming into a fetal position. You can use the bottom arm as a pillow for your head. Let yourself pause here, just kind of absorbing the practice and its effects. And then resisting the temptation to open your eyes just yet, press yourself up to any seated position, just whatever shape the body comes into first. Place your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your belly, finding a gentle embrace of your body. Decide what you want to take from this practice into the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, the rest of your week. Let the palms come together at heart center. Last full deep breath here. Breathe it in, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Let the eyes open when you're ready. Thank you so much for practicing today. See you soon.